Hello everyone, my name is Arti and I'm going to do my cultural immersion project on Mexican culture. I chose Mexican culture because I am very lucky to have traveled to Mexico 4 times in the past few years, and I learned a lot about Mexican culture, and I came back with so many souvenirs that I thought might as well I'll share with you during my project. So first of all, I'll take you to the Gulf of Mexico, in the deep waters of Mexico. This is a shell, a natural made sounding instrument found in the waters, and it is used as a sounding device. So there are 2 holes in this shell. I'll just spin it around so you can have a closer look. So this shell has 2 holes, one here and one up here. So the way it works is you blow air in this, and then the sound waves come through the back and they travel a long distance. So I had never seen this humongous size of a shell before, so I thought I would share this with students in my classroom and as well as my classmates as well. So yeah, I brought it. Just thoroughly enjoy it. I have a smaller size from back home in my country, India, and it's used for the same purpose. At the beginning of any auspicious occasion, we blow air in this, and then the rhythmic sound travels long way, and that's just to mark the blessings before we start anything good, auspicious. So, but this was the biggest size possible, so I wanted to share it with the kids in my classroom. So the second thing that I wanted to share was the sculpture of Mayan king. As you can, I'll spin it around so you can have a look. So they have long hair, tied up. They're pretty decorated, and they're pretty strong. This is the king of the tribe. And back in those days, the king's word was the word of the god, and the whole tribe would follow that with full heart. And that was the part that really amazed me, that how one king can connect the whole tribe together. So to me that was very interesting part, and I'm going to share about the history of Mexico in a bit, but I wanted to show all the souvenirs before we move on to the history. The third thing I wanted to show was my trip to Mexico. This is a cave. It's in Cancun. So this is a cave. We visited a place called Xcaret, and there's a cave, and then there's a river in the cave. So we did scuba diving in this river, and we explored all the beautiful flora and fauna in there, and it was a wonderful experience. And I wanted to share it with all of you. This is my family here, my elder daughter, my younger daughter, and it's me and my husband. So that is it. And I wanted to share from the same experience. I wanted to share this DVD. If I'll bring it closer so you can have a closer look. The place is Tulum, and there's a musical performance in Xcaret, and this is the face painting of the dancer. This is a typical Mexican dancer in typical style dresses, and this is a musical band person, and these are the props that they use. And this is the mariachi music jumping on to the Aztec dancers, and their how they paint themselves, and the full body is painted before they do the performance shows. And this is a Mexican lady performing on the stage. So turning it around, you'll see again the whole picture of an Aztec dancers. That was a beautiful dance that reveals the history, the culture, and I thought I would share that with you as well. And I shared that with kids in my classroom, and they were impressed. So that was, and then I wanted to share, the next thing I want to share is a painting from Tulum. That's a place in Mexico. They have this building with lots of stairs on the top, and the significance of this place is they have a building, a small building here, and then that has a window, and through that window, the significance of the sun rays that they say when the sun rises in the morning, the first ray that enters the earth is through this window in this building here in Tulum, Mexico. This was a very sacred building. This is a very sacred building, and the top part of the painting represents the 7 planets that came together in one line in year 2012 and during the month of December. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to put it aside and I'm going to show you the Mayan calendar over here, right here. So before we talk about the calendar, we'll talk about the Mayans people. Mayan were very, very intelligent people, and they didn't have any universities to go to or any internet or computer to help them. They just by looking at the movement of the stars and the planets, they were able to create a calendar that would tell about the present, past, and future. According to this calendar, there was no dates given for the future after December 21st, year 2012. What it meant was that Earth goes through the cycles of formation, destruction, and formation. So according to Mayan calendar, Earth started moving towards a new form of cycle. We're just going to reborn again. What I would learn being in this place at that time was that it could take 50 years, it could take 100 years, nobody knows, but the Earth has started moving towards a cycle of rebirth. So I thought that was really impressive for the Mayans to gain all these skills without going to a university or going to a school to learn all these skills. And now I also, this is one of the part of the Mexican culture, music, drums, this has Mexico written on it, and this is made by a Mexican local, so I purchased it from them so I could share it with everyone. Now we are going to talk about the city and the country of Mexico. This is all from the old classical period of Mexico. These are all souvenirs from that time. We are going to talk about the city of Mexico, the country of Mexico, which has gone through tremendous transformation. Back in those days when Mayans used to live, and then Mayans collapsed in 1427, and then the Spanish forces came in 1590 and ruled them until 1821. Mexico gained its independence, and then declared September 16th as their Independence Day. And then the French came in, and then Mexicans defeated them in 1862, and they celebrate that event as Cinco de Mayo. So in California, we see that a lot, Cinco de Mayo celebration. So that represents their victory over French. Well, besides this, I'm going to talk about the languages, the religion, the values, and the clothing, and the food, and last but not the least, the Mexican art and literature. So we'll start with the language. I'm going to brief up all this in so it's easy to understand. Spanish, 90% of the people speak Spanish in Mexico, but the government of Mexico in 1990, they recognized 62 indigenous Amerindian languages, including Aztec, Nahuatl, and the Mayan family of languages as national languages. There is still 6% of people in Mexico that are non-Spanish. So they are still using the languages from their classical period of time. We're going to talk about the religions of Mexico. 90% of Mexicans are Catholic, although the rest 10% have incorporated pre-Hispanic Mayan elements as part of their faith. The values of the Mexican people is the best part. Family is a big deal. Families, the people in the family, even the cousins and the close friends, they're all treated as part of the family. And whenever the parties are held, everyone is invited, and everyone works together towards cleanup. Everyone brings food together, or it's a family event. It's not a formal event, and that's the best part that I like about it. And making visitors feel comfortable is a large part of the values and customs of this country. In a typical Mexican family, father is the traditional figure, and mothers or women, they stay home and they take care of the chores of the house. But in the past few decades, I would say 4 to 5 decades, even the women have also started going out as well, and they help and they they started working as well. The typical clothing in the current eras, it's the same as what people wear around the world. But if you talk about the rural areas, they wear skirts and sleeveless tunics called hupils, and they shoes and the cowboy hats that Mexican men wear. And of course the mariachi music band that I mentioned in this, they have their special hats and the boots that they use, and then they're all dressed up, and music is a big deal. They all do it together, 4 or 5 men form a band and do it. We are going to talk about Mexican food, which is the really yummy part. And their food consists of corn or wheat tortillas, along with beans, rice, tomatoes, chili peppers, and chorizo, which is a type of pork sausage. Mexico is also known for its tequila, which is made from agave cactus that is well suited to the climate of central Mexico, but now it's popular all over the world. And the dances. My friends, I go to a dance class where with my Mexican friends, and we do merengue, we do salsa, and zumba. So these are very high intensity dances, and involves a lot of jumping and spinning around, and the music is great, and I love this culture. I would like to share the Mexican art. I was able to, this is a piece made out of clay, and how the clay works, the clay pottery works is you use there's a special dirt that is mixed with water, and then you roll it, and then you make shapes out of it, and you let it sit to dry. Once it's dried, then it goes in a kiln. It could be a modern kiln, electric kiln, and back in those days when there were no kilns, they used to use an enclosed piece, enclosed anything, and they would put something to ignite the fire, and then let the piece sit in there for some time, and then take it out, and the piece would have taken its shape. It would have gotten stronger. And after you paint it, and then you put it back in the kiln and take it out, and then the paint has nicely settled on the piece. And then the final part is you glaze it all. And then it looks, after the glazing, you go back, put it back in the kiln, or you can just let it sit on to dry, and it's going to take, glaze it up, everything, and it's going to look beautiful. So this piece was made by my daughter out of raw clay, and this is how it looks like. And we can use it in the kitchen if we want, or this is sitting on my mantle as a memory, because to me, showing it to the kids and passing on the art to the kids is more important. So we use pottery I use pottery as well to teach. So Mexican art has the embroidered cotton garments, the embroidery on the cotton garments. There are woolen shawls, and there are colorful baskets and rugs. And these are some items that are associated with the Mexican folk art. Overall, I have been very impressed, and it was a wonderful experience learning Mexico. And it doesn't stop here, because I want to go back to Mexico and bring back wonderful memories and wonderful souvenirs to share it with the rest of the world. And thank you so much for watching my video, and I look forward to watching yours. Thank you.